It's your favorite Compas, and we have you covered with plenty of NFL content. The NFL draft is officially over and in the books. We're here to give you our recap. From our opening drive segment, we will discuss our biggest takeaways from the draft, go over the winners and losers, plus what's next on the NFL agenda for NFL Rapid Fire. We'll get into the Brock Purdy effect, and of course, we'll have our Burial of the Week segment where we tell you what grinded our gears this past week. We don't just stick to the NFL talk. This is your favorite show, and we have you covered with all the pop culture topics to end the show in our Uno Mas segment, which reminds me, Hilberto, don't you have a question for our viewers and
course.
or listeners?
And the listeners, viewers, all that. And yeah, we have a big announcement to start off the show, but we'll get there. Maybe down there we'll say it. But the engagement question of the week. Yeah, of course, NFL. There you go. NFL draft related. And you know what? I was grading draft, being a tough teacher or a strict teacher, whatever you want. But now it's your turn. How about you grade the best draft class from the 2023 NFL draft? And there were some good ones. I really like the Eagles, the Texans, the Steelers, and the Panthers from those four. But if you feel like, hey, you don't know what you're talking about, like Victor once said, you're not an NFL expert, go with the other choice and just leave a comment from Eagles, Texans, Steelers, Panthers, or the other. Let me know who had the best draft class in your eyes. And again, audio listeners, get over to YouTube and you get to see my cool background that people are making fun of, Dan and Diego. But yes, grade the draft. Let me know what's the best one in the comments.
Speaking of a guy that gets only A's because he is an amazing person, a sexy guy, and a amazing promo reader, let's go now to Dan and Dago.
Welcome all to another glorious Wednesday. You already know what it is. You're seeing your boy Dan and Dago, so you know what that means. It means that not only is today one closer to the weekend, not only is today hump day, but it's also the day your favorite program, Compas on the Beat, drops a new episode. Shout out to all you guys joining us. Don't forget to check out all the awesome merch we have at compasonthebeatmerch.com. Do not forget to go over there. We got hoodies. We got hats. We got graphic tees. We got stickers. And we have an amazing hoodie. The hoodie is so badass. I wear it all the time. You should see it. I even wear it to work out. It's that warm. I call me crazy. I don't like to be half naked when I work out. I like to layer up to make sure I sweat and everything else. So the hoodie is absolutely amazing. Be a compa, tell a compa. Don't forget to check out compasonthebeatmerch.com. And also, do not forget we got a jam-packed show with all the stuff today. You already know what it is. We got some draft recap, some news and free agency. You already know how it goes. Some extensions. You already know how it goes. But anyway, it's time to get to the best damn program in all the universe. From all the way across the hallway. Play the music, Nando!
Welcome to Compas on the Beat. I am Fernando Ramirez. I cover the Chargers for the Sporting Tribune. With me, as always, my co-host, my tag team partner, Gilbert Manzano. He covers the NFL for Sports Illustrated. What's up, bro?
What's up, Fernando? You know what? I got so excited because of the banner, but you know what? I'm going to bury your brother real quick. I had a good vibe because we got to also, you could say it. We got to a big milestone in Compas on the Beat history, and I appreciate everybody for helping us get there. But I get on the show here, and somebody feels a need to make fun of my background here because I'm in the process of moving. So somebody was being a rude commander there. I don't know why I said rude commander, but Dan and Diego, you are the rude commander, and that's going to be a thing. But you know what? I'm still excited. Fernando, let the people know what's going on Compas on the Beat because we did it.
Compas on the Beat reached 1,000 subscribers. Hey, it's a fiesta. You know how that goes.
Was like a Mexican standoff or what?
Exactly. Yeah, there you go. But we obviously this is not just us reaching 1,000 subscribers. It is thanks to you guys that we did this, so we appreciate it. Now, obviously, we will be picking a winner next week for the giveaway for reaching 1,000. Remember, it's a hat, a hoodie, and a sticker. So obviously, we appreciate you guys so much for helping. For helping us grow. I mean, when Gilbert and I honestly started this, it was a basement thing where we're like, hey, let's just do it for fun. once we started noticing how much people liked it and enjoyed it, and then obviously when we brought in the cowboy hat, everybody started really we started gaining speed, and then last August we brought in Vic, so definitely some cool stuff growing from literally nothing in March 2021 to now March 2023. It has been so it has
A little
been
over 2 years.
it's been we've learned a lot, we've experienced a lot, but we're so excited to be doing this. Now it is on to 2000.
Yeah,
So
let's get there. 2K.
yeah,
But you're right,
exactly.
Fernando. Kind of like looking back of the journey to get to 1K, and we started out pretty fast because remember we started this podcast because of being on the same beat, covering the Chargers, given the name there, Compas on the beat, and we were both Chargers beat reporters, and we got a nice little community there, but then we started kind of expanding. Like, hey, we want to talk about more, and then obviously our jobs change and we kind of went through a phase of trying to figure it out, but we're going to figure out our way. We're going to copy people. Like you mentioned, we brought on Victor, help us out with the Twitter, the Instagram, the TikTok, what. We expanded to 4 YouTube channels. What's Up Bolt, House of Horns, Combat Compas, Compas the Beat, obviously. Then we had our good friend Alonso help us out with the Compas on the Beat website, compasonthebeat.com, link in the description, where you get everything, all your content in one place. We're organized. Then my good partner Caroline helped us out with the Compas on the Beat merch.com. They get a lot of hoodies, stickers, hats for that one giveaway you're doing. And that's why I'm in the process of moving, because she helped us out. That's when I knew she was the one. Shout out to her. So overall, in different phases, we've grown here. So I'm excited. And it took a while because we were trying to figure out what to do with the network here. And we were like stuck in the 600s, right? And then I don't know, we just blew up got to 1,000. And you said last month, oh, for my birthday, we're gonna get to 1K. I'm like, it's gonna be sooner than that, Fernando. And the people showed out.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, I mean, you have to give the people an incentive. So I gave them one, and if we get to 2,000, we'll give you guys. No, I'm just kidding. We'll
okay,
when we get closer to that. But no, definitely, we appreciate you guys a lot, and obviously, like I said, Gilbert and I have learned a lot through this process. Our partnership has really grown in the last few years, and we're just excited about what's coming up years to come. I mean, we've done Charger games, we've gone to Mexico City Mexico City before Compas on the Beat or whatever, and but obviously we've done WrestleMania, we've done Super Bowl, so it's honestly exciting, and we're excited about everything coming up, and but definitely we appreciate you guys so much. I mean, it's honestly if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be here. So definitely thank you guys so much for being compas, for telling your compas, and we can't wait to continue to grow this and keep on bringing you guys. I mean, that's the thing, Gilbert and I are different from a lot of people that are in our beat. I mean, that's why when we started this, we're like compas on the beat. Why? Because I don't think in the NFL there was another 2 beat writers that were Latinos covering the same beat. So I mean, I think there's only 5 of us. Yeah. Really, if you really think about it.
What's the compa? How many times have we gotten that before?
Oh my God, I know, that's funny. And the funniest part is that, like, at training camp and stuff, Gilbert and I stopped becoming Fernando and Gilbert. We became the compa. Like, anytime anybody would see us, they'd always be like, "Oh, there go the compas." So now, guess what I get now? Oh, one half of the compas on the beat, and I'm like, I just started laughing. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, that's pretty funny. So definitely some exciting stuff. But Gilbert, obviously, we want to thank we could spend the next hour thanking you guys for everything. But again, next week we will be doing the drawing, and we will be sending that out. So don't forget to comment below. Say something nice about somebody, or just say something cool down below, and we will be putting you guys in the drawing for that hoodie. But again, guys, you don't know how much we appreciate it, and we can't wait to continue to grow this.
Well,
but
how about this, Fernando? How about you cut a nice promo right now for your giveaway, and we'll put it on Instagram this week, and they could comment there, because I feel like we haven't been organized with the comments.
All right.
Do it on the spot.
Yeah.
A Fernando birthday bash in honor of 1K
right.
on your birthday on the spot.
All right. Vic, if you could hit that again, I would definitely appreciate it.
Okay.
But
okay.
We got the on YouTube. Amazing work. Thank you guys so much. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be here. The compas that listen, the compas that tell other compas, hey, you got to check out what the compas are doing on Compas on the Beat. So now that we got there, don't forget to go down below, comment, get what's rightfully yours. We will be not auctioning off. We will be spinning the wheel like in the Wheel of Fortune, like in The Price is Right. And one lucky listener will be getting a hat, a hoodie, and a sticker. So make sure you guys comment below. Let us know. Say something positive about somebody. Tag a compa. Let them know. And we will be sending one lucky listener a hoodie, but a hoodie, a sticker, and a hat. But we appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for getting us there. Now it's on the 2000. How's that?
There you go. Nice job, Fernando, on the spot.
Appreciate it. I didn't even say Pat McAfee. Okay. But all right, Gilbert. Obviously, just real quick, what was I gotta know, and I've been wondering all week. I didn't want to reach out to you because I know you've been tired. I've been tired. It's been a long weekend. What was draft night for you now? This because this is different. I mean, neither one of us has done what you did. So, what was draft night like for you?
It's weird because, by the way, if you hear the cats in the background,
I live cats in the cradle and the silver run.
I live with cats now, so you might hear some cats fighting. But the move was kind of in the background.
We'll be together again.
Keep it going, friend.
The cats in the cradle and no, go ahead.
I was gonna move. I did move this past weekend, so I was in my background. And I felt like, okay, just get me to Sunday, and I think that kind of added to more. The pressure, the anxiety of let's get through the freaking draft. And actually, for now, I thought day one was pretty fun because we're doing live grades for every first round draft pick on the Sports Illustrated website. And it was pretty cool. They had a tracker, the live grades. Like when I put a grade instantly on the website, so everything was very fast paced. But the thing that you realize from day one to day two is they only have 5 minutes to pick instead of 15. So when you're trying to write a quick 80 words on every draft pick, it's much faster on day two. And that's when I felt like, okay, why can't we make all these picks 15? But nobody wants to do that. But the first time was cool, it was fun. I graded up pretty well. I think I had the even numbers on draft night, so I don't think I got the Quentin Johnson grade. But yeah, and then day two I had to grade all the picks of the second round, third round. So after a while, I was like, okay, enough is enough. I was tired, I was fatigued. And then day three, I had to do live grades for as soon as all the teams were done drafting, we needed to post on the website the live grades. And people like those. As soon as the draft was over, they go and check to see what we did. Either they bash us or they say, hey, you did something right. So put it that way, it was very fast paced and very pressure filled to kind of get it done and instantly and quickly. And then on top of it, I had to move the next day, so I couldn't really enjoy the weekend. But overall, it was good.
Cheers to the freaking weekend. I'll drink to that. I'm throwing it back.
You should have drank after what you went through in the draft, but you don't drink, so
no, I don't. The draft was long. We were in Santa Monica at a mall. Shout out to Uncle Joe Reedy. He was a real one. I took the train up because my car was not here, so I took the train up, and Uncle Joe gave me a ride up to Santa Monica. It was pretty fun. I mean, we saw we got to talk to Justin Herbert for a little bit. By the way, if Justin Herbert becomes a pro golfer, guess who's going to be his caddy?
You?
Oh yeah, I told him. He's like, "You're willing to give this all up?" I was like, "Are you kidding?" I was like, "Hell yeah, I'll be your caddy." I was like, and I even went with, I was like, "Oh yeah, like in Happy Gilmore, we could be like Tiger Woods and his daddy." I don't know, it was in Waterboy when
you
the dad
did not
tells
do that in front of him because I would have loved to see that.
But definitely, it was pretty funny the way I told him that, and he got a kick out of it. But I was like, "Yeah, I'll give this all up to be your caddy." He's like, "Oh wow, okay." He's like, "All right." He's like, "We got it marked down." I was like, "All right, cool." So yeah, Gilbert, if Justin Herbert becomes a pro golfer, I will be his caddy.
Maybe next year at the Herbert Invitational, you will do it.
Compas on the green. So definitely, that was pretty interesting. Mario Lopez was there. Oh, dude, this was the funniest part. So Justin is like signing autographs and stuff for fans. Mario Lopez, hey, can I get your number, Justin? And he's like, oh yeah, for sure. So Justin like says one number, and I see a fan pull out his phone, and
Wow.
Justin goes, oh yeah, whoops. And then he like grabs Mario's number and enters his phone number in there. But I was like, damn. I'm like, one number, and and the guy pulls out his phone and starts like a fan just pulls out his phone and starts like kind of like about to dial it. I'm like, oh, there you go. So that was pretty funny. But man, I'll tell you one thing: Justin is loved by this franchise, by the fans. Like they were like all over him when he was there at the mall signing autographs, taking pictures, all this stuff. Like there was a lot of people, Justin, and he's like, oh yeah, hey. And, like people, like security was yanking him one way, and like people wanted to take selfies with him the other. So the kid's a rock star, and he honestly sat there and took it all. So pretty impressed with that. But yeah, it was media night day one kind of went. I thought it went by really fast. I don't know for what reason. Like I was surprised. Like I kind of like blinked and oh hey, Quentin Johnson. Maybe because I got there a little bit late to the train to the mall or whatever. But pretty interesting. I mean, and then the rest of the weekend I was just there at the Chargers facility. So definitely an interesting weekend, long weekend. As you can tell,
You're already yawning. All right, keep it going, friend. Let's go.
Yeah. So definitely, no, but I mean, it's just interesting to see everything that went down with the draft, and obviously, like I was checking Twitter often to see what fans were saying about not just the Chargers picks, but like other picks, and man, some people were trashing their teams. It was pretty funny to see. That's what I kind of like about the draft. I like the heel turns. But all right. Let's move on now, Gilbert, to obviously remind you to check out compasonthebeat.com, compasonthebeatmerch.com. Don't forget to check out everything on Compas on the Beat network. We have a lot of great shows, and honestly, I know Gilbert said it. We have one show that's already gotten to 1,000. We need the other ones, House of Horns, What's Up Bolts, and Compas, Combat Compas. So make sure you like, subscribe, and comment to all those. And we're back to your regularly scheduled show. Gilbert, it's time for the Compas opening drive. Ready? Ready? Sounds like it hurt. Sounds like it hurt.
Not as scary as the fireworks one.
Gilbert, obviously, there was, I mean, and right now, obviously, folks, it's April. But people are gonna say there's winners, there's losers of the draft. Just what did you give me a couple of winners or a couple of losers? Just give me some that you thought, oh, these guys, that guy, like just give me what you thought. Give me the winners first, and then I'll give you my winners, and then you give me your losers, and I'll give you a loser. Yeah,
I feel like my mind's all over the place, but I'm gonna try to sort it out. And I feel like I'm always gonna go back to the Eagles. So why not start with the Eagles? I actually gave them an A+ in my live team grades, and they were the ones that got the highest score at Sports Illustrated because of me. And I get the whole Jalen
because of you or Howie Roseman.
Me and Howie Roseman. How about that? Yeah. And then he ripped off the Jets, the Lions. Different team, the Lions, for DeAndre Swift. But to get Nolan Smith and then get Jalen Carter, and it just shows you how this team or this franchise is able to kind of rebuild quickly and then stay competitive for years to come. And it's going to be tough for the Eagles to have a competitive roster because Jalen Hurts got paid, and now you have to do it through the draft. So to get Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith, and then I think Kylie Ringo, the cornerback, and then Sidney Brown, the safety from Illinois, I got it right. Yeah, here we go. So a lot of playmakers to get there, especially on defense after you lost, CJ Gardner-Johnson, is it Hargrave? Yeah, from the 49ers. So
yeah,
you have to reload through the draft, and I thought the Eagles did a great job. And the other one, I kind of a sneaky surprise. I really like the Steelers. You get the tackle and Broderick Jones there, and by the way, how about I was gonna say the pettiness from Bill Belichick to trade with the Steelers, knowing the Jets need a tackle, and he was the last one from the top tier. Like, yeah, you could have got your boy as Anton Harrison, the Jaguars got, but it would have been a reach there. So to get Broderick Jones and then the Patriots to keep him away from the division was great. And then they get Joey Porter Jr. in the second round to keep it in the family with the Steelers was awesome. So those two stood out to me in terms of the winning side.
I went with the Seattle Seahawks. Man, they went with the reason why I think they went corner is because I think I read somewhere that their cornerbacks missed a lot of tackles last year, which led to more yards. So they get Witherspoon, who's obviously a sure tackler. They like him. They got their receiver from Ohio State, the Jackson. Yeah, I didn't know his brother played for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
I did not know that either until you
Yeah,
say it
his
right
brother.
now.
So you know those things where they sit down the players and they tell like their family members or the guys that are there in at the draft, and they sit down the players and they have them listen. He was like, "Oh, I'm so proud of my like." It's like his brother was about to do batting practice or something, and he's like, "I'm so proud of my brother. Like we've grown so much." Blah blah blah. So Seattle, I think Seattle got a haul, man. I really like exactly what Seattle did. Obviously, what's his name? Pete Carroll is still, man, that dude's building like if he's still going to be there for years to come. So and he's only 71 years young, I think. So I'm
Only.
definitely yeah, I know. So I think he really did build, and I think he's done a good job. And I think that team's going to be stacked. I'm not saying that Geno Smith is going to be the quarterback of the future or anything, but I feel like for the next quarter, I think they're building that team so when the next quarterback comes in, they're all set. DK Metcalf, the Jackson kid, and Tyler Lockett, that's a really good receiving core right there. And I had Indy. I thought Indy drafted very well. They got Anthony Richardson, your man crush of the
There you
draft.
go. Big hit.
They really, I honestly was very impressed with what they did. You get Josh Downs from North Carolina. They really filled out the rest of their team. They got a running back, they got edge, they got corners, they got offensive linemen. They got everything that they needed to keep on building this team out. And one thing that they've done a good job in is draft DBs. They got Julius Brents out of Kansas State. So there's guys that they got that they can really build off of. And I really liked what Indy did. I really think that they had a strong draft. And now it's obviously they're going to have to go and show it. But Gilbert, give me your losers.
Yeah, real quick, I just want
to
yeah, I'll give you a couple losers, but real quick, I'm curious to see what the Colts do with Richardson because everybody says he's not ready to go. Like after a while, let him sit down, and then you have Gardner Minshew. You're gonna start the season with Gardner Minshew. Like, Fernando, you were there when the Chargers just drafted Justin Herbert, and everybody was saying, Anthony Lynn was saying Tyrod Taylor's a guy. Let him sit. And then the screams got louder and louder, and obviously something else happened. We don't have to go down memory lane too much, but pressure gets going quickly for the rookies to play, and I don't know how long we could do an over and under later on in the Compas and B episode about how many games Gardner Minshew will play.
The players are gonna have to be the ones that tip it off, though.
Yeah, like it will be like, hey, this guy's ready to go, and then they'll see.
Dude,
it. But
you were. I mean, Casey Hayward, Melvin Ingram, Joey Bosa, like all these guys were like, hey, like this kid is like he's special, and we were like, like are we buying it or not? And then obviously, you see it in Kansas City. By the way, Justin Herbert said he will not ever take a hit like that again, like the one where he laid that guy out against Kansas City.
KC.
He said he's trying to learn from that and not do anything like that. He said on.
This guy Richardson is much bigger, so you could probably actually not much bigger. Herbert's also.
I think you just have to ride with him. Not ride with him like let him start. Maybe go Gardner the first game, see how it goes, and then if it really gets to that point, then and you're down or whatever halfway through,
I'll give it a month.
Yeah. Oh, month. Okay.
Let's give it. Or do you want to give your over under real quick?
I'll say 8 games. Over 8 games.
Okay. All right.
I'll say Gardner last 8 games. I think that team is good enough to, and I think Jonathan Taylor bounces back to where they may not need to throw in Anthony Richardson, unless Anthony Richardson just blows everybody away in camp and overpowers Gardner Minshew. But I don't think that'll happen. I think he's gonna have his growing pains as a rookie.
You know what? I'll kind of transition this way for losers. I'm not saying the Colts are losers, but like because they got my guy Anthony Richardson, but like I wish they would have got like they got a more greedy with the weapons, like because they got Michael Pittman and then what else? Like I don't know. It's not a really
they
good.
Lost Paris Campbell. They've lost some other guys.
Yeah,
that
it's
they
not
had.
a good skill
You're
players,
right.
pass catchers, no tight end. Maybe if Taylor figures it out, he'll be okay. But that's my only concern. But let's move on to the losers.
Well, they did get a tight end from Miami, the Will Mallory, but he's
but again, who
later?
I heard that. But you know what? I'll go with Dan's team, the Detroit Lions. They just had me scratching my head, and I kind of go back and forth with not calling them losers because they did get a Hendon Hooker to be maybe the future quarterback to replace Jared Goff, and I like that type of plan they had for a quarterback. You can't mess around with a quarterback. But the first 3 picks, like, man, I really feel like the hype train for the Lions. Like, I'm kind of getting off of it. Like, I might even like the Packers more. I might even like the Vikings more. Like taking the suspension from Jameson Williams, and then like doing this weird thing where you reach for Jamari Gibbs and then you trade you're running back to a potential playoff team in the Eagles, DeAndre Swift, like you're helping out a rival. That was weird to me. You reach for an off-ball linebacker, Jack Campbell at 18. And then you pass on Michael Mayer for the guy who's probably the fourth or fifth rated tight end in Laporta. And then Michael Mayer goes to the Raiders, to Victor's franchise. So a lot of head scratchers, but they kind of salvaged it by taking a Brian Branch, who I called Dion Branch a couple of weeks ago. I just remember that. And then they got Hendon Hooker as a future kind of plan there. So it kind of worked out to be a C kind of grade, but the first 3 picks, I'm like scratching my head a little too hard. That's why I got a haircut because of that.
I hope that Motor City and Campbell. Do you see what this guy's saying, man? On Compas on the beat, he's saying that Jamar Gibbs can't play, Jack Campbell can't play, and neither can Sam Laporta, man. Let's go out there, man. Let's go give it our goddamn best, man.
I can totally see that.
I'm laughing. I'm over here choking and laughing. But
who's your loser?
I got Washington, the Commanders.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, I agree.
I didn't think they did anything special. Man, I honestly, speaking of man, Emmanuel Forbes, like I was kind of like, I kind of had to Google him in a sense. Like when I saw when he was drafted, I was like, dude, Anthony Gonzalez was sitting right there. Why wouldn't you?
You mean
why wouldn't you go get him? Huh?
What were you saying? Anthony Gonzalez or Christian Gonzalez?
My bad, Christian Gonzalez. My bad.
Wasn't that like a former wide receiver? I forgot.
Yeah, for the Colts, and he turned politician or whatever. But I'm like, why wouldn't you go get Christian Gonzalez? Yeah. Like the kids, like he was sitting right there. By the way, his drop kind of made me feel like the Derwin James drop from 18. But I was kind of disappointed in the way they drafted. I didn't think they got anything special. I mean, maybe time will tell, but I just didn't like what Washington did with any of their picks. But I mean, I guess I thought they would go get a quarterback, maybe.
Yeah. What if they were surprised that Christian Gonzalez was there and they didn't do any research on him because he probably won't be there? Like, I could totally see that happening to Washington.
You know what's funny? I think teams do end up doing stuff like that, though. Like, I remember a couple of years ago, Tom wasn't happy because Baker Mayfield was like, hey, I'm not going to meet with you guys because obviously, like, you guys draft way too late and I don't expect to be there. So I remember Tom wasn't happy with that one. But yeah, I could totally see teams do that where they're like, oh, yeah, no, we're not even going to look at this guy. There's no way he's going to be there. But all right, Gilbert, it is now time for Compas on the NFL. Boom. Now that the Ravens and Lamar Jackson have agreed on a contract extension, was it worth it for Lamar to go through all the trouble for negotiating for a whole year to make it $5 more million than what Jalen Hurts signed for with the Eagles?
Well, to be making what is it annually, like $51-52 million a year? Yeah, it's worth the headache to go through that. Come on, you want me to fight with a team for a whole year and a half? Let's do it. I'll be petty as AF, I guess you could say. I think
he would have signed for less last year too.
Yeah, so I think holding out was better, and it's funny because the second the contract came out, I'm like, I bet you it's only $1 million more per year than Jalen Hurts. I bet you that's what it is. So it was, I think, $51 million per year or 52, something like that. I think it's 52. So I think the weight was, hey, like I don't like remember the whole with the franchise tag saying, hey, we're gonna put the non-exclusive on them so you can start beginning to negotiate with other teams and set that bar for your contract. And never really happened because people were scared about the 2 first-round draft picks. Okay, well, that didn't work. And it took Jalen Hurts to get a contract to kind of set the blueprint, and they just pretty much worked out to that. Hey, I'm better than that guy. Do you want to just give us a little more? And like, all right, well, we can't give you a full guarantee. Well, can you up it up a little more and give us OBJ too? That's the Lamar and his mom talking to Eric DaCosta of the Ravens GM. And they got it done. And credit to those guys. There was a bunch of back and forth. It kind of makes me feel like we wasted our time talking about this feud here, which never really was. But overall, they got the quarterback done. It was annoying that they got it done before the draft because everybody's focused on the draft. And he's like, okay, here's a massive contract for Lamar Jackson. But I think it was worth it to kind of wait to at least see the numbers, and then you know what you're kind of negotiating with.
I think it was worth it because obviously he reset the market. He got the money that he wanted. He got 183 guaranteed. So yeah. I mean, I definitely think. Let me ask you because I mean I saw Vic put this in, but Herbert, there's no way Herbert or Burrow will ask for the Deshaun Watson fully guaranteed. I don't think either one of them gets it. I think that was just one dumb ownership doing what they thought was necessary, or doing what they thought was necessary. But I don't see anybody else fully guaranteeing a contract to a quarterback, even if Burrow and Herbert ask for it. I don't think they'll get that. What do you think?
Real quick, did you hear the cats? I need to know if you could hear them.
No, I heard them, but I was kind of like trying to be professional and just kept
All right,
on going.
you can leave that on. I don't care. But yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm going to be on so many podcasts and Google meetings, and people are going to hear the cats. So I need to get it over with and say, hey, there's cats here. So yeah. I think now what we got the Hurts and the Jackson contracts, I think we're starting to see that the Deshaun Watson fully guarantee was an outlier, that the Browns screwed it up for everybody. Huh?
No, I said 100%.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were disagreeing with me.
No.
But I think it kind of sucks because you want the players like get some more say, but still they're making $183 million guaranteed. It's still pretty nice. But yeah, it definitely became the outlier. Now the tricky part is like Justin Herbert and Burrow deserve more than that. Like maybe it's like a bigger contract, and maybe the guarantee money gets very close. But it's not like all the owners care about. Don't say the words fully guaranteed because okay, then you lost. So maybe you could get close to what Deshaun Watson got in terms of guarantee money, but the contract is gonna be much bigger. And Fernando, real quick, I think after seeing Lamar get $52 million per year, I think Herbert's gonna get 55, and then Burrow might get really close to $60 million a year.
Everybody keeps on forgetting that next person that's gonna get paid though.
Besides,
I'm telling you, yeah, I think Patrick
Ooh.
Mahomes signs a contract extension as soon as. Yeah, 100%.
After Joe Burrow, after
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
okay, all right.
I think he's waiting for both of them to.
Not before.
No, he's waiting for both of them to sign their extensions. He's going to sign it, and I think that's when the market restarts again for.
Yeah, because who else is after those three guys? Like I think after Mahomes waits for those guys, who else is due that's in line? That's it. So.
No, but you have to restart it because you got guys like Danny Dimes and other quarterbacks making all this money, and you're like, let's restart it, let's go back down, and let's work our way up. But I think Mahomes is the last one.
How about Joe Burrow gets to like $58, $57 million per year, and then Mahomes makes it to $60 million?
See, and that's what I think is going to end up happening. And then you reset it, you start working your way up again, and then obviously in a couple of years, I don't think Herbert, Burrow, and Mahomes make it to the end of their contracts. I think they re-sign a new one, especially if they say that Herbert wins a playoff game or 2 or 3, and then Burrow makes it to another Super Bowl, or Mahomes wins another one. Then obviously the contracts are going to get redone again. So I mean, it's just as you go. I think you're going to start getting, and I think Burrow, Herbert, and Mahomes sign cap-friendly deals to help their teams out to stay competitive.
Well, the one thing you bring up there is going to be key. Fernando, like the question is like, would they get fully guaranteed contracts? I don't think they will. But the one tricky or the funny thing that I noticed, like nobody has done the Mahomes structure where it's 10 years. You commit for a long time, and then it is still a big salary cap number for the quarterback, but it's not as big as these short-term deals. So nobody's doing that, which is I find that really fascinating because they want their money now. Does that make Mahomes look like the good guy here? Not really.
Is it the trust of the? Is it that the team doesn't have the trust in the quarterbacks the way the Chiefs have the trust?
Bengals and the Chargers don't have that same reputation.
Yeah, but I think if there's two franchises that would trust their quarterbacks, I think it would be those two. Besides Mahomes, but out of those 3 franchises, I don't think anybody else trusts their quarterback the way those 3 teams.
Well, I think that's why it's the other way around, because if you're going to commit 10 years, that means you better trust the GM, you better trust ownership, you better trust a coach, and the Chiefs were the ones that could really do that. Like,
exactly.
You can't really do that with the other teams. I think that's why
you're right. You're 100. Yeah, you're 100% right. All right, Gilbert, it's time to move on to a guy who's a legend in and of his own. He's a guy that has helped the Compas reach 1,000 subscribers. He is a guy that reads our promos. He is Dan Dago. Let's go to him now.
Coming back to me because you love me. I appreciate you all. Do not wait. Quick shout out to all of you for getting us to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. We really appreciate it. You guys are the best. Shout out to all you guys for coming on this ride with us. You have no idea how much it means to us here at Compas on the Beat, the crew and everybody, the boys. We're super hyped and excited to keep bringing you great content. Shout out to all you guys. And don't forget, we got a one-stop shop for all the content. If you don't want to flip from page to page on YouTube, go to compasonthebeat.com. It's a one-stop shop for all the content. But if not, do not forget to check out our other programs on YouTube. We got a little House of Horns for the Rams. What? We got a little What's Up Bolts for the Chargers. What? We got regular Compas. What? And if you love everything, boom, combat sports. We got a little combat compass. What? And do not forget, if you love everything about the champions, we also have Compas FC out there. The lads do absolutely amazing. Shout out to them and everything else. And do not forget, we're everywhere on social media. On the Twitters, at Compas OTB. The OTB is capital. What? On Instagrams, at Compas on the Beat. What? On the TikToks, at Compas on the Beat. And Compas FC11. Shout out. Do not forget to go check that one out. What? And we are everywhere. So don't forget to be a compa, tell a compa. Let's get back to the program.
Well, thank you, Dan and Dago, for that one. Gilbert, it is now time for rapid fire.
Boom, boom, boom. I don't know. I got to figure out a sound.
Gilbert, was the Brock Purdy effect the main reason that there were a record 12 quarterbacks selected in the first 5 rounds of the draft? And which day 3 quarterback selection has the best chance to start a game next season?
Now, I'm going to stall this way. If it was a Brock Purdy effect, what would the sound like as an effect sound? Because I need to figure out the guys that got drafted for this record-setting number here. But yeah, that's a Brock Purdy effect there.
No,
but yes, first part of the question, yes, there was a Brock Purdy effect, and that's why a lot of these teams, I don't like.
It's a dartboard. They're just tossing.
Yeah,
whatever.
That's what it was. Because I'm like, these quarterbacks that I'm looking at right now on the list that Victor did. Thank you for that, by the way. Again, was the list here. They don't scream future starting quarterbacks. But then again, Brock Purdy didn't do that either. So you're probably right, Fernando. It was a dartboard effect. So yes, that definitely played a factor in it. But all these guys I'm seeing here, like, who's gonna come out as a starting quarterback? Like, the one I keep going to is maybe like Stetson Bennett, because we saw Stafford get hurt a lot last year. And then, like, what happens with the future with Stafford? Like, I don't know, but he's not going to be – I don't feel like he's going to be a franchise quarterback. So we'll see what happens, but injuries occurred. And then after that, I don't know. Like, Dorian Thompson-Robinson is behind Deshaun Watson, so who knows?
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome the oldest rookie. Actually, no, that was Brandon Whedon. But definitely. But yeah, well, he was like 27 or 28. I drafted in the first round. God, the Browns. Just for fun, and because I know Vic is gonna get a kick out of this one, I'm gonna go Dorian Thompson-Robinson is gonna start this year. One game. I just want to
Watson injury wise. Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say injury wise. I didn't say what wise, but I'm interested to see. I'd be interested to see him play. For some reason, I just think the kid's electric. I know he made mistakes and he wasn't like all that at UCLA, but I think he would be fun to watch throw the football around a little bit. I told you, I think he's going to end up switching positions at one point because the kid's fast, he's athletic. I think he might end up being one of those switching of positions. But yes, this was the Brock Purdy effect, 100%.
Yeah.
Gilbert, with the NFL draft behind us and the Aaron Rodgers trade official, is the AFC East the best division in the NFL?
I really had to think about this one. It was a good question, by the way. Shout out to Victor Producer. And I kind of wanted to go AFC North with the Ravens. The Steelers are maybe be decent, and you got the Bengals, but I don't know. I really like the Bills. I really like the Jets, and the Dolphins are okay. Like, people are gonna get at me because the Dolphins love to get at me when I say Tua might not be the guy, but they have a lot of weapons. They even drafted a fast running back from Texas A&M. I don't know how to say his name, whatever. So that AFC East, I think it is the strongest division in the NFL.
I went with the NFC East. I think last year we saw it with the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Giants. They all made the playoffs. Washington could have made the playoffs as well, but I think they, like, the last game of the season, they failed, or the last two. So I think with them adding Eric Bieniemy, I think their offense will be a little bit better this year. Their defense should be a lot better. By the way, all of a sudden, like, Daron Payne and Chase Young are going to get traded this weekend. all of a sudden they're not traded. I'm like, okay, yeah, no, they're not going to trade those guys. But I think the NFC East is still the most competitive division. I'm pretty sure the AFC East is going to be competitive, but I just haven't seen it from. I don't know what Aaron Rodgers is going to look like with the Jets, so I'm going to go with what I've already seen.
Real quick, Daniel called me out for saying that I am a guy who never admits his mistakes. I said Chase Young was going to get his fifth year option picked up. It did not, so you guys were right. I take that on that one. There you go. See,
it's incredible. It's incredible. His rookie year, man, he was all over the place. He was destroying guys, and then ever since then, he hasn't been able to pick it
That's
up.
why I thought maybe because of the 1 year, like, hey, he'll get healthy. Say he does ball out, and then that tab goes up really high. So I'm always on the kind of Daniel Jones thinking, like, oh, remember when they didn't pick up his fifth year option and you got to pay. But yes, it is a lot of injuries, and some people are saying it's really like that last one is very serious.
Yeah, Gilbert, there are rumors that the full NFL schedule will be announced on May 11th. Is there a matchup, a must-see matchup, in that the NFL needs to have opening weekend during one of those primetime slots?
Yeah, I didn't really think about like the Sunday schedule or the Monday. I really thought about the Thursday because it's the Chiefs. You want to watch the Chiefs, right? Am I the only one here? Probably. Wink, wink. But then
they're going to start it off. They're going to start it off Thursday night.
So I started seeing the Chiefs schedule. I'm like, oh, they actually have the Bengals and the Eagles schedule for that. Like, that'd be pretty crazy or wild to see in week 1. And I started thinking, well, the Bengals match up with the Chiefs too soon. You can't do that in week 1. The Super Bowl rematch with the Eagles too soon. You need to have these teams at their peak of their powers and after week 10. So how about the Bills and the Chiefs? I like to see Josh Allen and Mahomes go at it. And like the Bills are kind of that one tier below the Bengals and the Chiefs. So it's a nice, kind of fight to start off the season. You don't like Chiefs Bills?
No, because I'm with you. I want it during deeper in the season. I think it's going to end up either being Chargers and Chiefs, or it's going to be Eagles and Chiefs, just because they're going to want the Super Bowl rematch. They've done it before in the past. But I think Chargers and Chiefs might be the
they usually deliver too when they play each other. So you might be on.
They do. No matter what, they always deliver. They go toe to toe, and they really hey, Quentin Johnston's out there, Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack. The Chiefs defense, they're getting younger, and I think they're going to get even. I think they're going to be better next year.
You called that the Kansas State edge rusher, by the way, for the Chiefs.
The what?
Kansas State edge rusher, Felix something. I don't want to butcher his name.
But I mean, hey, we'll see what happens. But I really am interested in the Chiefs. You know what? I guess I read it fast because I was over at Petco Park. I thought it was which games are you looking forward to? I had put Aaron Rodgers' first game and Jordan Love's first game, but I'm going to go Chiefs Chargers. I think that'll be the opening slot game. Please do not give us the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football of that week. We don't want it. We don't want the LA Rams either. Give us something way better. Nobody wants the Cowboys. Nobody wants the Rams. Give us something.
I'll be shocked if it's the Rams.
Oh, but
maybe like Monday night, the second game.
No, thank you. Not even then. No.
But remember that 1 year where they didn't go with the defending champion and they went like with the Cowboys and somebody else? I forget.
Yeah, no.
What did they do with Aaron Rodgers' first game for Thursday night?
Hey, give me no. That opening night game needs to be the Chiefs so they can lift up their banner, do all that. That Sunday night game, they're no Cowboys, no Rams. Give us something good. Give us Bills Jets to open up that first weekend. That'll be a good one.
It's gonna be a primetime game though, for sure. The Jets.
They should make the Compas do the schedule. We would make a kick-ass schedule. None of this boring crap. That'd be fun.
I would give the Chargers all primetime games for you, Fernando.
Oh no, God no! I don't want to be up late. All right, Gilbert. Will the Cardinals trade Kyler Murray before the 2024 season starts? Now that they potentially have 2 top 10 picks. I'm gonna go first. Who the hell would want Kyler Murray? Nobody's gonna want this guy. I wouldn't want him. I don't think he's improved in any way since he's gotten in the league. I don't think he's good enough to do anything. There's nothing about him that screams, wow, this kid really has got this. I mean, his escapability, but other than that, I just don't think he has anything. I think Kyler Murray needs to prove himself from now until the start of next season of why a team should pick him up. I do think he's going to be on the trading block, but there's not any reason why I would want Kyler Murray on my team. There's nothing that he's shown me that I says, you know what, I like this about him and I want him on my team. Nothing. Cliff Kingsbury, he was fighting with him on the sideline, and Cliff Kingsbury's been the biggest advocate, and they have the same agent. So no, there's nothing. I wouldn't want Kyler Murray on my team. So good luck to whoever tries to trade for him. You'd have to be batshit crazy right now to try and get him on your team.
For different reasons, I will say they won't trade Kyler Murray, not because he doesn't have a market. For now, does not believe in a market for Kyler Murray, but only
Can you imagine Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. on that team?
Well,
And Caleb Williams, he's okay, but man, Marvin Harrison Jr. That's my man crush for next year. I love that kid.
Well, let me start off with Kyler Murray before I get to Caleb Williams. You're jumping the gun. But then I saw Kyler Murray's whatever statue in Oklahoma, and the coach, Jonathan Gannon, and the GM went. I can't even pronounce the GM's name. I should figure it out. But they went to Oklahoma. I'm like, yeah, okay, kind of a good sign. Then I'm like, oh, they drafted a left tackle, Paris Johnson Jr. for him. And I was like, oh, wait, maybe for Caleb Williams. And then they got the extra first round draft pick. But it's going to be interesting because they do have a very terrible roster. But then, they trade up into the top 10 again. They get Paris Johnson. So Paris Johnson can help out Colt McCoy, and they win enough games, and they get screwed that way. But it's going to be very interesting to see the Cardinals potentially getting the number 1 pick again. Because remember when they had Josh Rosen, and they're like, oh, Josh Rosen's our guy, and they drafted Kyler Murray. So it could be, again, repeating history.
If you're by the time that Kyler Murray's ready to go, if you have not won a single game, don't even let him touch the field. He could potentially win you a game or two, and you don't want that.
But if you're Kyler Murray behind the scenes, like, hey, I don't want Caleb Williams here, so let me go play.
No, hell no. Go grab some bench. Go play some video games. Get out of here. By the way, I have a conspiracy theory. I think if they do get the number 1 overall pick and but Jonathan Gannon's there. I was going to say they fire his ass. They bring in the head coach out of USC. They bring in Caleb Williams. They bring in Marvin Harrison Jr. And then Cliff Kingsbury takes over USC because he is the quarterback's coach there. I can totally see it. But then they fired a head coach almost every year for the past couple of years. So I'm okay. My conspiracy theory doesn't work anymore. So damn. All right. Gilbert, last week, Tottenham players put out a statement saying they were reimbursing fans who traveled to Newcastle after they got blown out 6-1. By the way, Newcastle is the team that Dan and Dago picked before the season to make the top 4 and go into Champions League. So shout out to him right now. They are in the top 4. Could we ever see this happen with American professional athletes? And should players be more accountable like the Tottenham players? Gilbert, I'm going to let you take that one first because you already know what I'm going to say.
First of all, I'm confused. Are we talking about beers? What's a Tottenham?
Tottenham is a team in the Premier League, sir.
I know that. I'm making a Newcastle joke because that's a good drink there. It's a beer because you don't know that, Fernando. Newcastle is a drink. Do you know? No? Okay.
No, I didn't know. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You don't drink. But yeah, who cares about soccer? Who got this one in here? But Tottenham. Is it Tottenham or Tottenham?
Tottenham.
It's interesting. Yeah, they got blown out 6-1 because in soccer terms, that's like 50-7, right? I got it right.
Yeah.
I'm keeping up there. Americans would never do that. No, I don't. And then if I was a player, I would not do that. You got screwed over. You paid. Not my fault. You deal with it. So whatever they're doing in Tottenham, they're nicer over there.
The heel is out. I don't think any American player would ever do that. Obviously, Tottenham, they know they have unfortunately, Tottenham will be Tottenham, so it's sad that they haven't been able to win a major trophy in years and years. But I don't think the players would ever do that here. Can you imagine?
So they're a bad team and they give away their money when they lose?
Yeah. So do you think the Chargers would have to reimburse for the 27-0 loss, or like would that be something?
I guess. Why? I don't know how Tottenham
actually
no.
compared. Well, no. Well, no. I mean, they're pretty. Both teams are pretty comparable to each other.
Oh, okay, there you go. Then, they wouldn't do that. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks for putting in NFL terms for me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Now the draft is in the books, and we have an idea of what the rosters will look like in the fall. Which team is the 4th best team in the AFC right now? The Lions or the Seahawks?
Okay. So,
do we agree that the Eagles, the 49ers, and the Cowboys are the 3 best teams in the NFC?
That's even tough too. Like, I'm not even convinced, but you know what? I'll play along because I haven't really thought about it. And then I've been bashing the Lions throughout the whole show. So
I like the Falcons in the NFC. That's my sneaky team next year. Except for Desmond Ridder.
Wait your turn, but that's a good one. But number 4, okay. Seahawks, I do like them because Jackson Smith and Jigba and Devin Witherspoon from Illinois. They're going to be impact players day one to already a stacked roster. The only concern is Geno Smith doing it back-to-back. But you know what? I kind of believe a little bit in Geno Smith. So yeah, they're the number 14. But I'm not really sure the Cowboys are number 3. But you know
No,
what?
the Seahawks are my third team.
Oh, okay. Then do your list now.
Yeah. Yeah, so my Seahawks are my third team. I want to say Atlanta's my fourth team so bad. I like them so much. I just wish they had a better damn quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't know what Desmond Ridder is, but Arthur Smith keeps on saying that this kid is the next, like that they believe in him and everything. So that makes me think that they must know something about him. But no, I'll say Cowboys are the fourth best team. I'll say the Falcons are close. I like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as well, right there. So, but no, I'm gonna go with the Cowboys at 4.
Let me kind of study that a little bit with the Falcons there, because you know how the 49ers have somewhat of a quarterback, scheme proof, where you don't really need a quarterback to be an elite quarterback to do what, you know what I'm saying. They've done that with their rushing attack was almost, I think, number 1 in the NFL last year with, I can't even pronounce that guy's name. And now they got Bijan Robinson, and then they added another offensive lineman to a very good offensive line. So they just pound the rock like Dan Dago style, and then they got a defense with a bunch of new weapons from free agency. Like, they might be sneaky there. Maybe it's enough where the scheme, you run the football a lot, where Desmond Ridder has to make maybe a handful of plays every Sunday, and they earn the NFC South too. So maybe you're onto something there for now. We'll look back at the video if they are number 4 in the conference.
Yeah, no, I there's something about them that I just really like, and that's why I kind of feel like I'm leaning towards them. But I think they could be a sneaky good team. All right, Gilbert, it's time to bring in the fellas. I won't do what I did last week. I am going to ask you, Vic, how was your weekend?
It was good. I got to see some old friends at a quince, and just watched a lot of draft, and we'll get into it. But I was proven my mock draft was really bad, guys. so was a lot of
top 10.
Yes.
You know, DJ was the only one that had Daniel Jeremiah had the first 3 draft picks.
Yep.
Correct.
Wait,
He had
Texans?
He had the Texans jumping back up and grabbing Will Anderson.
When did he have that draft? I never saw that mock.
The day of.
The day of.
Yep,
wow.
The day of.
Nice.
Yeah, but yeah,
there you go.
Is he not here?
Is he not?
Oh, there you
go. Look at this.
Look at
this.
Oh, yeah. You got to bring it out today.
Look at this. This is exclusive to your
one of
boy,
a kind.
Dan and Dago. I just want to thank you real quick for finally giving me some credit on this program. I got so many locks. It's unbelievable. Newcastle lock. Sir Edward, you're wrong. Don't start taking my takes. I had the what's those 2 idiots' names? The Lachey's lock. I have too many locks. I don't know what more locks I can count, dude. It's unbelievable.
You only counted 2, so it's not a lot, but whatever.
Put some respect on my name, guy. Okay? Put some respect on my name. The disrespect from this guy always.
Vic, what was your biggest takeaway from draft weekend?
I made a huge mistake listening to a lot of the NFL insiders instead of what I've kind of exactly. Yes.
I'm not an expert anymore, so don't.
No, I should have listened to you instead of listening to the national media there. And so that, I'll give you credit there, because you talked about Anthony Richardson. And part of the reason that I kind of messed up was I know I've done research before. I know how this stuff works. And, listening to the media narrative, it always ends up being wrong. And it happened here as well. And I'll get into it with the Texans with the first couple picks. Everybody thought that Stroud was going to fall. He doesn't end up falling. He goes number 2. And then just the rest of the draft, there's always teams that reach. There's always players that fall, just like we always see. So for me, that was my biggest takeaway. Just listening to, people like Mel Kiper, we really get into those mock drafts. And at the end of the day, nobody knows anything, as Fernando has said. So that was my biggest takeaway, is kind of like, that was my bad for one, like now that I'm able to talk about stuff like this on a podcast, for me to fall for it as well was really bad on my end.
Well, the funny thing, Victor, is like I did my mock draft for SI like maybe 3 weeks before the draft, and it actually helped me out. Like for me, I thought getting 3 or 4 would be big, but I got 7 right, which is patting the back to myself there.
Right.
Take it
And
easy, guy.
because I got CJ Stroud at number 2 and then Anthony Richardson at number 4, because that was before the whole smoke screen. Oh, the Texans are not gonna go and get a quarterback, and I missed all that part, so I won't give myself too much credit. But I think now we should probably keep in mind that maybe when the calendar changes to April, that's when the smoke screens start really changing and you don't buy it. Maybe the stuff before that, okay, maybe it's believable. Because people I think Chris Ballard real quick was saying like he didn't want to say good things about Anthony Richardson the whole time because he wanted to tip his hand, and then he calls him a freak as soon as he drafts him. So stuff like that.
You guys need to be like more like me. Watch this. Dan and Diego, what do we think about the draft and what people say?
It's absolutely stupid. I made a similar mistake. I should have been watching Pat McAfee's live draft show instead of the garbage on ESPN. I made a mistake there. I fell asleep halfway through it. I fell asleep. I had no idea what was even going on.
Yeah,
the blue checkmark brigade, they're all ass. I don't know what to tell you.
No more blue checkmark brigade.
And that brings up a good point, because whatever they were doing, like I would be refreshing Twitter, and because I was on the Compas on the beat Twitter feed, like I kept seeing videos pop up from the Pat McAfee, and I'm like, that's more interesting than whatever's going on my screen.
You were having general managers on as soon as they made the pick.
Yep.
General managers were jumping on, like Tom Telesco jumped on right on with him as soon as he was
while the first round was still going.
Yeah, while the first round was still going.
That's
why I'm like, no, I mean, that's why I'm saying like his show. That's why you're gonna get more on his show than you are from like Mel Kiper. The only guy that I actually do listen to, except for when it comes to the Chargers, is Daniel Jeremiah. Yeah, but when it comes to the Chargers pick, he always like gets it completely wrong. So I don't know if it's him throwing out a screen. Yeah, that's what I think it is too. Yeah, exactly. So, but I definitely, I agree with Dan. Like when it comes to April, I really don't listen to anybody because I know, like they were like, "Oh, Will Levis is going to go up high." I'm like, I think this guy's going to free fall, and he ended up. Who was the only guy that was in the green room, by the way, the second day? Respect to him. Was it Joey Porter?
Brian Branch.
Brian Branch. Respect to him. Everybody else went home and they left and everything. Respect to Brian Branch, because it's embarrassing to do that. And he waited and he waited there the whole time. So I actually give mad respect to him for waiting. But Dan, do you want to finish your thought, or were you done with it?
No, I'm not done with it. Real quick, exactly. Picking back off it. The draft's a joke. I can't stand it. I know everybody gets all hot and bothered when they get things right. Like people in this party, I won't mention who, does 100,000 mock drafts, gets 7 right, and gets all excited. It is what it is. Do 100,000, hell, I'll get a few right too. But it is what it is.
I did one.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me.
And then half of one here.
I have my time. I have not yielded my time, Mr. Chairman. I think the thing that's so ridiculous to me is now it's just a sideshow Bob show. What happened? Call me old-fashioned, Gilberto. Gilberto, call me old-fashioned. What happened to wearing a nice suit with a tie, everything else, going up, hugging the commissioner, whatever you want, fine, do it. But yeah, guys half naked, just wearing like no shirt, no tie. Like, what are we doing? Like,
that was your third round draft pick.
I'm not into the whole flare stuff because like I'm old-fashioned. But it's like I thought Quentin Johnston's dad had a perfect amount of flair and still looked respectable. He had a 3-piece suit on, a loud color, a top hat, everything else. It's just ridiculous. Then you have like a bunch of randos on stage cutting promos and doing all this weirdo stuff. The one that was cool though was the kid who went up there and did the Jets fan. The Jets fan. Yeah, he was cool. But I hate it. I think it's ridiculous. Then the worst part, I just hate this. The stupid handshakes that are probably pre-practice with the commissioner. It's such a joke. It is all such.
You want to shake his hand?
No, I don't. I won't.
Hey, did you see the report that supposedly this might have been his last draft?
I hope so. Hopefully he retires. Get out of here. You've
No,
only
that
made
the
Yes. So
that the owners might not extend his contract.
Yeah,
Good.
so they had a contract set up for him,
Yeah.
and then for some reason it's been taken off. It's been taken off the table.
Yeah, there's
Good.
it might-
Good. He's made
It might have been.
he's made the league worse. When Ray Lewis, Brian Dawkins, and Ed Reed would be executed and exiled in the league today, that's how you know it's garbage. The league is not the same. Needs to get back to real football.
All right.
All this other stuff is
Maybe Dan should grade the outfits of the red carpet of the draft and not the actual
Next year.
There you go. I'll do that next year. That's a good one.
And
I'll do that.
real quick, Fernando, I finally, that'd be good. I finally watched draft day, so I caught up on all the references.
Yeah, another
this weekend.
stupid movie.
Yeah, and
So was Will Levis the Bo Callahan?
Yeah, he was. So I caught that reference.
Dude, the way Mel was getting
He's a
so hot and bothered that no one picked him. I was like, Mel, no one cares about your crappy graphic of percentages of where he'd go. Like,
he
my
always gets
God.
mad about one quarterback that he overrated, and he just
Yep.
makes like
He had him as a number one pick at one point.
By the way, I felt bad because I showed Jeff Miller the video of because I was like, "Did you hear why Will Levis is dropping?" He's like, "No, why?" I showed him the video. He's like, "That's not real mayonnaise." I'm like, "No, it is." He's like, "Are you serious?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then I showed him the banana. That can't be real. I'm like, "Yeah, it is." He's like, "Oh, my stomach is churning right now." I was like, "I'm so sorry." And he's like, "That's disgusting." And he's like, "Fernando, that's why I always like sitting next to you. You always bring fun stuff, and you always show me stuff that nobody else is gonna show me." I'm like, "There you go, Jeff." I'm like, "That's why I'm here."
Everybody forgets you got to share a locker room with the guy. You don't want a weirdo next to you putting mayonnaise in his coffee or whatever he was up to. Didn't he eat bugs also or something?
No, I don't know about that, but all right.
Allegedly.
Move on.
Easy.
All right. It is time for burial of the week. You're on a roll, so I guess I'm going to let you go. Go ahead, Dan.
Burial mixed with opening drive. I appreciate it. So let me get to my drive here. Oh, this one's gonna hurt for now. You know what's funny? Every time I write these down, I always forget what the hell it is, and then I'm reminded right now. So let me tell you, I cannot stand movie franchises that drag it out too long. Besides, you know, you've already heard me mention Fast and Furious 83 that's coming out in May, so I'll leave that one alone. But like the Scream franchise, to me, over the weekend we saw Scream 6, right, Frau?
Yes, ma'am. Or sir.
Yeah. God, jokes are over here. Anyway, Scream 6, you know, I won't give spoilers of what happened in Scream 6, but I'll just go back to Scream 5.
Well, remember, because that's Vic. Vic is also
I'm going to talk about it, but go ahead. Go ahead.
That's fine, but I'm talking about Scream 5. I'm talking about Scream 5, Frau. Scream 4, nice little, okay. Like, I hate when they try and just connect a story anywhere. And it's like to have now supposedly Billy Loomis cheating on Sidney Prescott and making some rando baby just to keep the movie going. It's a joke. I hate it. I reject it. Bringing back, you know, these grandparents who should be in the nursing homes like Courtney Cox and all these people. Just let me have the memories of 1 through 4. Everything else has been ass. 5 was ass. Number 6
no,
right.
6 wasn't that bad.
It was all right. We talked about it.
Yeah, I'll get into it.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it. I'll wait till that one.
Yes.
I stopped dragging it out. That's the problem I got with the sequels. For
Stop watching
all these priest movies with the nuns and
I'm tired of this manure.
Things.
No,
it's like,
don't you dare talk about the exorcism movies because those are different.
It's all the same.
Every single time it's different. If you're talking about the Conjuring,
what are you, Jeffrey Dahmer, Dan, trying to force people to watch The Exorcist?
No, that's not true.
The power of Christ compels you.
He has no taste in films. The man still watches Power Rangers and Pokemon and all this other stuff.
I still watch Power Rangers. I do.
You're gonna get a morpher. Anyway, stop dragging out movies. Let us have our franchises. Don't remake them. Don't add stuff onto it. Leave them alone. That's it.
I've never seen it past 2, by the way, Scream. So I'm not really itching to watch the rest. So
no. Watch up until 4. 4's good. That's good.
How many have you watched? Oh my God, you're talking to the same guy that's still on Half-Blood Prince.
Yeah, I know exactly. He probably agrees with you.
They were terrible, just like the Scream movie. So
No, don't you dare insult Harry
No,
Potter.
No,
That
but-
is fighting words right now.
they're all terrible.
The
Too
Scream
long,
movie
by the
was
way.
very
So you don't need 7 movies and then a 2-part for each one being 4
Are
hours.
you crazy?
I'm good.
Are you crazy?
It goes with your
Harry-
whole banner here. You said
Harry
movie prices
Potter-
are too long.
Harry Potter's probably one of the only series anyone can say every single film was excellent and led up to a great finale that you were not like underwhelmed, disappointed, anything. Harry Potter's a masterpiece. I'll give the Brits
So
that.
you're okay with movie franchises going too long, but okay. All right, what's next?
Are you serious? That's not the
Alright.
same thing, guy.
All
Look
right,
at
I'm
I'm
gonna
trying to
let
twist my
Vic,
word.
Vic
What
go
are we
ahead.
doing?
All
It's
right,
not the same thing.
I'm gonna kind of go on a little tangent here with the Houston Texans and kind of disagree with what Gilbert said earlier about the Houston Texans and how much he really liked their draft this season or this year. There's a couple of things that I said there. It was kind of brash. We kind of talked about this before we hopped on. Gilbert and I were talking about it. But one of the things that it was made very clear was that the owner wanted CJ Stroud. It wasn't that the team, like, they were ready to draft Will Anderson, and the owner made it a point that they were going to draft. So then they draft, CJ Stroud number 2. But then, to make their new head coach happy, they go and they trade up and they pick Will Anderson. Now, the trade looks really good. You get 2 of the top picks, but the problem here is that, you have someone in Will Anderson who isn't someone like one of the Bosas or even Garrett, who you should be. Nobody traded up to get one of those guys. So that should tell you something. The biggest problem that I had with this was that they traded a future pick next year that could be a top 2 pick, because the Texans aren't going anywhere. They're in the middle of a rebuild. Like, why are you, trading a pick when you don't know if you're going to be any good? Like, maybe, eventually, like, I will be wrong and they'll probably win the AFC South. Who knows what happens? We've seen, like I've talked about, 5 new teams always make the playoffs the following season. So, but in terms of, it was just reckless on their part. I just didn't understand why you would do this right now. And, why are you trading an asset for somebody who, like, now you're putting all the pressure on Will Anderson. Like, is he going to break Curse's record of 14.5 sacks? Like, no, he's not. Like, it's just, and then the same thing with CJ Stroud. Like, if he wasn't your guy, just wait for next year. I'm not saying next year's draft's going to be any better, but if he's not your guy, why are you, I understand you're the owner, you're going to you're going to make it known who you want, but then you're messing with your franchise. Let people run your football operations and let them do the picking, because now you put your franchise in a bad situation. So that's my barrier, is the Houston Texans.
I get what you're saying, Victor, but for me, the second they got their franchise quarterback, no more living on what if and what that first pick could be next year, because you got your quarterback. Like, I disagree with the ownership stepping in, but maybe he did them a favor, because you can't go into another season with Davis Mills, and that means you're gonna for sure tank for Caleb Williams. And yeah, it's worth it to tank for 1 year to get Caleb Williams, but that's not what happened. The second they got CJ Stroud, you're all in and winning with that guy. And I think Will Anderson helps out. Obviously, he's on defense, but it helps out because, yeah, he might not be like a Nick Bosa, but what if he becomes like a for sure guy? I think I told Fernando the other day, like a DeMarcus Lawrence, like a very productive Pro Bowl edge rusher, and you get that for
He's a
sure
Hall of
because
Famer.
DeMarcus Lawrence.
I think, or
Really?
maybe he.
Or
Or
no,
I
you're
think
thinking
you're
DeMarcus
talking
Ware.
about
You're thinking
DeMarcus Ware.
Ware. Like,
or DeMarcus Ware. My bad.
maybe
Yeah,
that
yeah,
could be the ceiling, because that he was a steady guy, but not like a dominant force. So maybe that's not a bad one too, by the way, Fernando. But DeMarcus Ware or DeMarcus Lawrence, we'll see. If it's Ware, it's definitely good.
No, my bad. I was gonna say, but I think that's what they saw though. The or Anderson and the next guy. They saw the gap between them and said, you know what? There's too much of a gap. Let's go get this guy. 1, 2. Remember, the Houston Texans have just fired 2 coaches in a row where they've only given them 1 year. What if they fail this year and they say, you know what? And D'Amico's a franchise guy, and they'd be stupid to clear him after 1 year, but who knows if they go, you know what? We go get Caleb Williams and they go with my plan. Let's just say they bring in Lincoln Riley and they say we can pair these guys up next year. We bring them in, but they fired D'Amico Ryans, and that's 3 black head coaches they fired, and that's three strikes and you're out. So I understand where you're coming from, Vic, but at the same time, I kind of feel like they thought, you know what, there's too much of a gap between Will Anderson and the next pass rusher. We got to go get this guy, and we got to go get CJ Stroud. The other thing is, I have a lot of questions about CJ Stroud moving forward, but that's where he's getting at. But the thing is, you're not guaranteed to get the first overall pick. I mean, look, what was it? The Jets were competing for. There was a lot of teams. No, not the Jets. There was a lot of teams competing this year for the first overall pick.
Look at the Texans this year. They're supposed to get the first pick, and they screwed it up.
Yeah, and they ended up winning a game, and then Chicago got it. So yeah, you're completely right. But all right. I'm gonna go. I'll go next.
So Lincoln Riley coming to the NFL guy. He hasn't really done much in college.
I know, but I'm saying like a quarterback like Caleb Williams could get him a job the same way. Look at Cliff Kingsbury. He got him a job.
We're just handing out.
Patrick Mahomes got him a job, and Patrick Mahomes wasn't even that amazing in college in a sense. Like,
and that is exactly why Arizona is Arizona right now, guy.
So this is my burial. Let's go with this real quick.
1 of 9. What were you seeing in the fourth quarter offensively, and kind of what led to your struggles?
Oh wait, that was on it.
Boldy not going.
Yeah, wrong one, Fernando. Come on.
Wow,
that's all right.
Don't worry, Frau. He's trying to put you down now because you try to cut him off.
Okay, we need the video. Just say it, Fernando.
Okay, now we don't need the video. My bad. I thought it was the correct one. But basically, Giannis was asked by a reporter, "Do you feel like this season was worthless without winning?" And he's like,
failure.
"Oh, and your job,
Failure.
Or was it a failure?" And he's like, "At your job, if you do this and you do that, stop comparing yourselves to us. Like, you guys make way too much money. Stop it. If we have a failure season, we get fired. We get it, but you're not going to get fired." And the thing is, Kobe has gotten this question. LeBron James has gotten this. Everybody gets this question. It's about the media wants to see how you're going to answer it. And he answered it with a little bit of sting to it. And I thought that showed a little bit of weakness in Giannis. I know people on Twitter were clapping. They said, what a great answer. I didn't like the answer. I thought it was a little bit weak on his part because I think a guy like Kobe, a guy like LeBron would have been like, no, yeah, it's a failure, especially after he's tasted that championship. How don't you call this season a failure without getting to go and win it? I know he's like, we can build on some things. We can do some other stuff. But I just didn't like his question. I didn't like his answer. I think a guy like Kobe, a guy like LeBron, a guy like Magic Johnson, they would have been like, oh, yeah, of course, after winning so many championships, we see this as a failure. We need to build on this. We need to get better. Like LeBron last year, I remember the last few years that they haven't made the playoffs, he's called it failures. He said, yeah, no, there's nothing we can build on. We need to get better. We need to get younger. We need to do this. We need to do that. They've broken it down, and Giannis, for some reason, just didn't. He decided to go with the attacking the media person part, but I didn't like that, so I'm burying Giannis for that. I wanted you to show a little bit more mental toughness, and you decided to go the other way. So in the words of Coach JP, no, I'm just kidding. I ain't gonna go that route, but I just didn't. I didn't like it. But all right, Gilbert.
No, let me. Can I respond real quick? I'll just make. I think part of the problem here too is that you have foreign-born players. Like you see with Giannis, you see with Dirk Nowitzki, you see with Paul Gasol. They come from they grow up in a different mindset than the American-born players. That's kind of why I wanted to put in the whole Tottenham thing into the question for rapid fire, is because here the mindset is different. And Kobe, as you know, he grew up in Italy as well. And so when he was asked about the whole failure, he first talked about failure as a different way of looking at it. And I thought it was because for the Lakers, it's a completely different thing than it is for the Milwaukee Bucks. Like when you're supposed to win every year, like the Lakers are, then that is considered a failure. When you're the Milwaukee Bucks, who have only won one championship in 50 years, failure is a little bit different. Now, was he still wrong? He was still wrong there, but I think part of the problem here is that a lot of these, like I said, foreign-born players who are coming here, they think differently, and that's okay. And he was his way of kind of talking about it, what failure is to him. And so he's already made it out. Like, he came from Greece, and so for him, this isn't a failure. Like, for him, life is way bigger. Like, and so that, for me, that was the biggest takeaway from that. Like, I as you said, some people don't agree with it, and that's fine. But yeah, I just, like, when I was looking at it, like, from the macro view, that's like, knowing where Giannis came from, that was my biggest takeaway.
Well, here in America, Victor, it's a failure. And I'm with you, Fernando. Yeah, it's a little soft. The only reason I give Giannis a pass because he's already won a freaking championship. He's been in the mountaintop. You lost to a freaking 8 seed, a team that won a play-in game. I don't even watch basketball.
Saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, you got
now, stop it. Stop it. We need more load management, and we need to make more money, Frown, please.
Don't be pissed at the reporter. And I'm guessing they have a good reputation, or they know each other, or a relationship.
Yeah,
because he said the name of the
he was respectful.
name.
Yeah, and he was respectful.
Yeah, and then, but now all the fans would be like, "Oh, reporter, you're dumb. Like, when you read a story, is it gonna win a Nobel Peace Prize?" They get on him. No, you should be betting yourself. Like, hey, the reporter, I think his name is Eric. Eric, great question. You're absolutely right. We lost to an 8 seed, a team that was in the playing game. We got worked, and I'm supposed to be the best player in the world, and Jimmy Butler gave me that work. I suck. It's a failure. That's what I want. But again, you're right, Victor. He comes from a different place. No, but yeah,
European mindset.
I'm a little old school. Like
that's why America won World War II. That's why America won World War II, and Europe waited for us to win. Dan.
Don't get me started. Some kid was speaking some nonsense about the Soviet Union winning.
Okay, God, Gilbert, go ahead and give yours.
By the way, you guys did a great job picking the topics, and mine's gonna be kind of a selfish letdown here. But movie franchises, the NFL draft, failures in the NBA, and me, I'm over here pissed off because I can't check out my 12-pack of Modelos after a long draft weekend, and I had to go through like a freaking in the Stone Age, like a commoner. I had to go to the lane with the actual human person taking my order here instead of the fast robot ones. Self-checkout. I can't go there because you know what? I got alcohol and they don't let beer. That. What? It's annoying every time I go. Like, I just want to get my beer and get the F out, go to the party, go home, drink whatever I want. But no, I'm always stuck with the old lady on a Friday night having her grocery list done, and she's taking forever, and the cashier is just as slow as her. That's annoying to me. That is
they're talking about their day.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Gilberto hates the elderly.
Some random dude talking about he's gonna order pizza and maybe this time he'll get anchovies and he's gonna go crazy on Friday night, and they're having a whole conversation, whatever. And I'm in the back just pissed. I'm like, I'm counting 4, and I'm like, just open the lane. And by the way,
did you open one while you were waiting? Like, you were just like, heck.
I can't do that, but you know what I do? I start, the little divider. I just grab it, not even return. Like, let's start dividing the things and putting our stuff down and speed it up here. And I'm always a guy looking like pissed off and annoyed, so they can open another checkout line, and it usually works. I'm like, oh, really? Okay, I could wait, but whatever. I pretend like I'm dumb, and then I get there. But just let me get like some places like let you do like, okay, well, we'll let you slide. Let me check your ID, and that's it. Like, why can't we just do that? Or invent some kind of nice robot machine that checks my ID, scan my face. We already have the scans on the phone. What the hell are we doing here? It's not 20. It's just 2023. It's not the freaking 1984. So that's mine. It's a selfish rant, but that's it. And sorry for the older people on the cashier.
By the way, I just hit up the grocery store. They have video of Gilberto getting angry. I got it right here.
I just want my beer quick and get out.
Hold on. Watch it.
3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. What the heck is bothering me? 3, 2, 1.
How do you remember this thing?
Is bothering me. 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. What the heck is bothering me?
I might try that next time.
Dude, he's hilarious.
Next time, I'm just going to the old school liquor store in the corner and pay overpriced tall can beers and call it a day, because
there you go.
It takes too long, man.
Shout out. He hates elderly people.
I'm trying to create jobs here. Get more cashiers in the lines, man. Come on, don't let the AI people beat us. There you go. Sorry.
AI.
Terminator. Exactly. All right, let's go through this really quick in honor of the late great Jerry Springer, who passed away last week. What is your favorite trashy TV show of all time? I'm going to start it off. I have to go with Jerry Springer. I think that, and I know we were choosing other ones. Gilbert has a really good one. Jerry Springer to me was awesome because when I used to like stay home from school or whatever, and I'd stay at my grandpa's house, my grandpa loved watching Jerry Springer. So he'd always be like, "Oh, Fernie, look at that fat one. Look at Jiggle, Jiggle. Boom, they're hitting each other." He's like, "This is like that wrestling you like to watch, but this is some good stuff." So like, we would just start laughing, and like every time you stayed home from school, you'd watch Jerry Springer. When you got home, you'd watch Jerry Springer because it was obviously
boring. Then it was boring.
It was always
you were
on
not
too.
the father.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was always on, but then you get Maury first. And it's like the warm up, and here goes Jerry Springer, and obviously you get the Jerry. So obvious, and then still Steve ends up getting his own show off of that. So
Steve will.
definitely, I thought Jerry Springer.
Bodyguard.
Yeah, exactly. I thought Jerry Springer was an awesome show. I thought it was hilarious. I didn't know it was scripted, but I honestly thought it was real at one point. And then I found out it was scripted. I was like, oh, okay. Like I think I was more heartbroken knowing that Jerry Springer was scripted more than WWE, just because like the way they used to go at each other in Jerry Springer. But I definitely enjoyed Jerry Springer. So RIP, and thank you for all the great trash TV. Vic, go ahead.
I'm gonna go with Mexican telenovelas. Like I like you. I actually grew up in Mexico for like I was out there from when I was 5 to when I was 7. So whenever I got home, my grandma was always watching telenovelas. Like, and then my mom continued on the tradition, with Maria Mercedes, Maria del Barrio, Marimar, all the Thalia movies telenovelas. But yeah, and then later on too, like anything that was on from like the TV at my house belonged to my mom, and it was from pretty much from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. and it was on novelas, and it was like the same thing, like the same storyline over and over, but it just became an addiction eventually. And then even when I became an adult, like I would like sometimes flip the channels and I start watching them too, because that was just part of it. It was instilled in me. So yeah, for me it was the telenovelas.
Dan,
my favorite trash TV or whatever. I can't remember the name of the show now, but it was basically about what's it called? Tow truck drivers, and it was the funniest thing ever.
Oh, I know
because they would go a repo man or repo women or whatever. And they would go around repoing people, and you would see the funniest, dumbest crap you could ever think of. One chick actually got, she was about to tow this car, and she's standing behind it so the person couldn't leave because they were already like kind of like squared in. They were in a parking structure off the second floor.
You killed my friend.
Up. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Bernice. Chick backs up, knocks her off the freaking parking structure. She falls to the ground. Her, like, whoever was with her was trying to call the cops and like trying to stop them. All of a sudden, they like stop them at the like where you, I guess, give the ticket to the guy so you get out of the parking structure. All you see is this big old chick roll up, and it's her walking pissed off. She breaks the driver window and drags her ass out of the car. It was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. So by far, repo. Watching people repo, by the way, was the funniest thing ever.
I forgot to mention this. Supposedly they're filming Love Is Blind in San Diego. There was I guess there was a couple. I saw it on TikTok. There was a couple at the airport, and they were kissing, and there was a camera crew with them. And this chick was like, I think it's this chick put Love Is Blind season 5 or 6 filming here in San Diego, I guess. And
Fernando,
I was like,
it's your time.
So they don't even actually put out.
No.
So that just tells me it's.
I think they were on their way to the Mexico trip.
That just tells me it's all scripted. They don't even get locals. Who are they going to get? Who's a stupid influencer from here? They're all wannabes.
Fernando Ramirez, Juan Ramirez. There you
no,
go.
I'm not an influencer, idiots. He has a real profession.
I have a big mark on IG.
I think I'd be terrible on that show. I think I'd be too.
He's a Charger. He's a Chargers influencer.
I could.
Let's keep it going. All right.
No, you know what would be hilarious? Frown would fall asleep on a date.
I would like to watch that.
On the pod, I'd fall asleep.
No, you really want to do something?
He will walk out on people too. I could definitely see that.
Get all the boys from Compas FC on the show, dude. That would be
No,
hilarious.
that
That would be hilarious.
All right, come on, let's
Okay,
go.
Gilbert, I'm excited for yours.
Yes, you could play the sad violin for me because I grew up poor and I didn't have cable like some
Okay,
of you
that's
Disney
not what we're
Channel
talking
kids.
about.
Like the 8th time
I
over here
watched
he
a lot
said
of
this.
daytime TV. What you say? Okay, anyways, I didn't hear it, but I will watch it later and I will laugh. I watched a lot of daytime TV, and then also what Victor went through. Yeah, my mom or the grandma, they control the controller. So all those shows you mentioned, you gave me flashbacks. I hated those shows, but I watched them. I knew them. I will not watch them today. I don't know what you're doing, Victor. I definitely won't do that.
No, I said not now.
Okay, I was gonna say, but yeah, and I was watching a lot of Jerry Springer in my days, and then I stumbled across because my mom wouldn't put this, and now I know why. The Spanish version of Jerry Springer, Jose Luis Sin Censura, and I used to watch that pretty religiously in my older days, so it was my choice.
This isn't what I was going with, Gilbert. So this isn't what I was
Yeah, I
excited
was about
about.
to say this
Don't
wasn't
take
it.
no.
Yeah.
Don't take,
I'm not done yet. Well, I got you. You want the other one first? I thought this one was better, but Jose Luis Censura. I liked it so much that I went in person one time, and I think I've already said this before. I got the freaking Christmas special where you get all the freaking sob stories, and I didn't see anything besides people crying. So
You know who's Gilberto's favorite
it's all
frown?
fake.
What's the name of the Mexican magician who knows your future?
What's
What
the
was his name?
Mercado?
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh.
Then, well, I thought you were gonna like this one, Fran, but I was gonna go with WWE Attitude Era
Yes,
until
thank you.
until I remember Jose Luis and Censura. I'm like, well, that one's better. But yeah, what's wrong with it's not a guilty pleasure, so I like Attitude Era, but it was pretty raunchy back in the day. And
Yeah,
I was actually watching some old DX videos where they're hanging out with Crime Time, and let's just say
Heck
it's,
yeah!
That was badass,
Ladies
dude.
and gentlemen, it's crime time.
Yeah.
that was an Attitude Era, but I'm like, oh, that was still kind of back in the day.
That was ruthless aggression. And you know who started ruthless aggression?
But
Crown
wasn't
Hero
that on
there.
cable? I thought you said you didn't, or was that on regular TV?
Which
Leave
one?
John Cena alone.
Attitude Era? No, I watched SmackDown. That was on regular TV.
Oh, okay.
And then I watched Sunday
yeah.
Heat on also regular TV.
Yeah.
All right, it's
Then I
time
watched the
for
Spanish version.
Oh my
okay. It's time
God.
for Una Mas. So I'm gonna let Gilbert go first.
Yeah, let's make it quick. Actually, surprisingly, I enjoyed.
Here we
Murder
go.
Mystery
Let's make it quick, and here we
2.
go. A whole preamble for 15
Murder
minutes.
Mystery 2 with Jennifer Aniston was better than Courtney Cox Arquette from the terrible Scream franchise. Make more Murder Mystery movies because I actually was laughing my ass off after the draft. I'm like, have a couple of beers, maybe that's why. I was like, oh, it's actually kind of funny. So Murder Mystery 2, it's like in the 70s for the avocado rating, but it made me laugh.
Yeah, I guessed it.
Vic, go ahead.
I got to see Scream 6. I have not seen Scream 4 or 5.
What the hell
And
are you
so-
doing, dude?
So we've heard great things about it. It did really well in theaters. I think it broke the
franchise
box,
record.
the box office record for slasher movies, I think. And so we went in, not knowing much about it. I will say this: I was really impressed with the storyline. They kind of fooled me at the beginning because I thought they were gonna flip the switch in terms of horror movies or slasher movies where you actually get to see the villain side of things, and they didn't. And so that was kind of disappointing. I hope we get to see that eventually, without spoiling anything. But like the director from this is from Ready or Not, which is another horror movie that you guys should check out. Actually, the main character from this franchise was in that movie. Actually, I think the bad guy in number 4 or number 5 was the main actor. I think I forget his name.
What's the name? The kid out of Secession is Macaulay Culkin's brother. Was
Right.
in the
Yeah,
fourth,
one of the bad
Scream
guys, yeah.
movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jonah Culkin. That's
Yeah.
the third one. But yeah, no, I like I said, we didn't know who It was really good. It was well done. We didn't know who the guy who the villain was going to be at the end. It was
This asshole
we
knew
kinda,
halfway through the movie. He called it halfway through the movie.
Bro, I got freaking locks. I don't know how many more times I have to say this.
Yeah.
I got locks, guys.
I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, like I knew there was going to be.
I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was going to be more than 2. Like I thought we get at least 2. I knew that. I knew that the villain was going to be.
Oh, I locked that one. I said 3.
Yeah.
Oh,
Spoiler
shit.
alert.
Damn it.
Spoiler.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move on because I'm gonna.
Yeah, go ahead.
But
I'll give it a 75. I
we
thought
watched it as well, and I didn't think it was as bad as the
5
fourth
was
and the
ass.
fifth one.
5 was ass. That was straight ass.
Yeah, but this one was a lot better, so I was actually happy with it. Well, never mind. I'm not gonna get into it because then I'm gonna spoil something. All right, Dan, go ahead.
I was going to tell you, Vic, sometimes I read this one when Extremely Wicked, the Ted Bundy movie with Zac Efron came out. They don't like to supposedly portray the crimes from like the perspective of the villain or whatever because they think it glorifies or whatever. So idiotic, but it is what it is. That's probably what they'll do. Hollywood doesn't do anything that well anymore. But anyway, so mine, I don't know if you guys
again. All right, let's move on now to. No, go ahead.
That's the type of maneuver I have to get. That's
two
the type
movies
of
on
maneuver
here.
I
Come on,
deal
speed
with
it up.
to the listener.
You got
You
two movies
guys
on here.
delay me half the time. That's why I last 10 minutes. Then you move me. My train of thought is gone. Then I have to regain it. I'm stalling.
Just give us one this week and give us the next.
Okay,
one
I'll do that then. I'll do that then. I'll do Evil Dead first. I saw Evil Dead on Saturday with Frau's little godson, who's very interesting to say the least. Interesting person, little Daniel. Shout out to him because we went together. It was a good film. I was entertained. I know the remake in 2013 got bad reviews. I don't know why. I thought it was good. I know, I'm always hesitant of remakes. Just to clarify that, I'm not a big fan. But I think that this one did a really good job, especially like the villain itself. I think just out of this world was really good. And I think sometimes, when they do these type of possession films, they don't really get it right. They try and make the villain look scary and da-da-da-da-da. More than anything, there he goes. You know what? That's it. I yield my time. I'm going to give it an 80. I'm going to give it an 80, and I'm going to move on. That's it. I'm tired of being abused and kicked around here.
By the way,
we love you.
Megan says that she wants to go see it. She said that it's a really great film in terms of the horror genre. And I think one of the things why it's so good is because it's the original director from the previous ones. So that's why it's really good. So
never heard of it.
Like the OG from the 80s.
Yes.
That's an 80s horror film I actually like.
That's why.
Horror films from the 80s are a joke.
Okay.
Stop it. I gave it an 80. We're moving on.
Okay, let's move on, please.
All right, my turn.
Roberto's uncomfortable.
Oh, there's still more?
Yeah, it's my turn.
I forgot.
Gilbert, would you do this?
He wants to cut you off, Round.
Why would I do that after I just saw that? Can you let the audio listeners know what you're showing?
Oh yeah, so it's there's a huge pole and people are running up this thing and they're trying to capture the pole. They have to.
So you have to get the pole.
No, they have to get this piece of.
Really want
they have to get a flag off of like a. What is that? Grab the flag and win.
Like 275.
It's impossible.
275 euros.
So
these guys,
wow.
So they're running up this pole, Yeah, that's what it is.
You're an idiot. You're doing that.
And
for 275 euros? Are you serious? I'm at least gonna
that.
give it a try.
A lot of these people are hitting their bread baskets,
they're all
their family
idiots.
jewels, and but the thing is,
Can
you
wear
have to
a
go
cup?
first. You have to go first because it's already slippery. Like people are wet. And they're going on, and it's already slippery. If you go first, I think you have the best chance.
Oh my god!
Did he do that on purpose?
That guy really got it to go nuts.
Yeah.
Even the guys looking at him.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. But by the way, before
talk about Scream there.
Look at this.
That's more like
funny.
Squeal.
Supposedly, on the Return of the Jedi, they had this as the final caption in the movie. Somehow Palpatine will return.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Don't make sequels. The sequels were trash.
But definitely, it's been another great episode of Compas on the Beat. A little long, but we appreciate you guys again for helping us get to 1,000 subscribers. We appreciate you guys so much. Don't forget to check out everything on Compas on the Beat. Check out compasonthebeatmerch.com, compasonthebeat.com. Check out, obviously, Compas on the Beat. Check out What's Up Bolts, where Dan and Dago and I will break down the full. It'll come out on Tuesday. It comes out Tuesday. We will be breaking down everything from the Chargers draft. We're even going to take a look at some of the undrafted free agents, because there's about 3 or 4 that we think that can make the roster. And then don't forget to check out House of Horns. Gilbert and Vic. Well, I mean, obviously there's some that can make the roster. Gilbert and Vic will have all your stuff with the Rams there, especially with old man Jensen Bennett there. You'll be able to check out everything there. And don't forget to check out Compas FC. We didn't film an episode last week, but we are back this week. Last week was a little hectic, so we're back this week, previewing the Champions League. What's going on when Manchester
Remind
United?
Remind them of my locks, Frau.
And don't forget to check out everything. And don't forget, we're now on the road to 2,000. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment on Compas on the Beat. Don't forget, we want to get the other accounts also up to 1,000. So please comment, or please like and subscribe to Compas on the Beat, What's Up Bolts, Combat Compas, and House of Horns. We appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys. But for the time being, Gilbert, ¿sabes qué? Vámonos.
Yeah, this episode took longer than getting to 1K subscribers, but we did it. Thank you again. It will be quicker for 2K. And by the way, Harry Potter stinks. The way we started the program here, right? And the network. So Harry Potter is terrible. Maybe I'll watch it for the next 2K. But on that note,
terrible.
Ya nos vamos, pues. Vámonos.